Listen to me carefully. I don't know where you started. I don't know the battles you fought, the nights you cried silently, the weight you carried when nobody else even noticed. But I do know one thing. You've come too far to stop now. You didn't crawl through fire, survive storms, and endure pain just to quit when the breakthrough is right in front of you. You didn't fight for your sanity, your dignity, your future, just to throw it all away because it feels hard right now. Think back. Remember the days when nobody believed in you. Remember the nights when you had nothing but a dream and the stubborn refusal to give up. Remember the betrayal, the failures, the doors slammed in your face. You survived that, you carried yourself through that, and you're still standing, so why stop now? Why would you waste the blood, the sweat, the tears, the scars, all the effort you already paid in full? You didn't climb halfway up the mountain just to live on the cliffside. You didn't start this fight just to surrender when the enemy is weak and victory is near. The world doesn't reward those who almost made it. Nobody cares how close you came if you stop. Nobody remembers the runner who quit 10 meters before the finish line. History remembers the finisher, the fighter, the one who refuses to break, and that's exactly who you are. Quitting feels easy in the moment, but it destroys you slowly. If you stop now, you'll always carry regret. You'll always hear that quiet voice saying, you could have made it, you should have finished, you had it, but you gave it up. Regret doesn't come from failure. Regret comes from stopping, from knowing you could have won if you just held on longer, pushed harder, kept going when it hurt. Think about your life 5 years from now. Do you really want to look back and whisper to yourself, I was so close, but I quit? Or do you want to look back and roar, I didn't stop, and that's why I'm here today? You've already endured too much pain to let it go to waste. If you quit now, everything you've suffered becomes meaningless. But if you keep going, that same pain becomes the foundation of your strength, the story of your victory, the proof of your unbreakable will. Nobody respects quitters. People may pity them, but nobody admires them. Respect is earned when you refuse to break. Admiration comes when you push through the impossible. The world doesn't celebrate almost. It celebrates victory, and victory comes to the one who refuses to stop. Think of the people you admire. They're not admired because their path was easy. They're admired because they didn't quit when it was hard. And if you want to be respected, remembered, honored, you have to finish what you started. Relentless will is the force inside you that refuses to die. It's the voice that speaks when everything else in your life has gone silent. It's the reason you're still here when others gave up. People talk about talent, luck, opportunity, but none of that means anything if you don't have the will to keep moving when the world tries to break you. Relentless will is not about being the strongest, the smartest, or the most gifted. It's about being the one who refuses to surrender, the one who looks at failure, pain, and exhaustion and says, you're not enough to stop me. There are people who start strong but fade when it gets difficult. They had motivation, but motivation is temporary. They had excitement, but excitement fades. Relentless will is different. It doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care how tired you are. It's the iron inside your spirit that says, I'll crawl, I'll bleed, I'll suffer, but I won't stop. That's why relentless will separates winners from losers, finishers from quitters. Every single success story you admire comes from someone who refused to quit when it would have been easier to walk away. You see, the world doesn't reward those who almost made it. Nobody remembers the runner who quit a step before the finish line, but everyone remembers the one who kept moving, even if they stumbled, even if they were broken, even if the odds were against them. That's relentless will persistence when everything around you tells you it's over. It's the belief that if you take one more step, fight one more round, try one more time, the breakthrough will come. Most people never unlock their full potential, not because they don't have talent, but because they don't have the will to keep going when it hurts. The mind quits long before the body does. The excuses come before the results. But those who train their mind to ignore the weakness, to rise when it's easier to stay down, to keep walking when their legs are screaming, they are the ones who win. Relentless will is not glamorous. It's lonely, it's painful, it's waking up when you don't want to, showing up when no one claps, fighting battles no one sees, and believing in yourself when no one else does. But that's the price of greatness. And the reward, victory, respect, legacy, the knowledge that you gave everything, that you didn't betray yourself, that you finished what you started. So when life pushes you down, remember this: you don't need permission to rise. You don't need approval to keep fighting. You don't need the world to believe in you. You need to believe in yourself. That's relentless will, the fire that refuses to go out, the spirit that refuses to break. And if you hold on to it, if you let it drive you, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can stop you. Victory mindset is not a slogan, it is not a fantasy, it is a way of living, a way of thinking, a way of refusing to accept anything less than winning. It is the unshakable belief that no matter the obstacles, no matter the setbacks, no matter the pain, you will find a way through, you will find a way forward, you will find a way to win. Most people go into challenges with half-belief, already doubting themselves, already whispering failure before they even start. But a victory mindset rejects that weakness. It demands that every thought, every action, every ounce of energy is directed toward one outcome only: victory. When your mind is wired for victory, defeat is not an option, quitting is not a choice, surrender is not even on the table. You don't try, you commit. You don't hope, you execute. You don't wish, you work until winning is inevitable. Victory mindset means you play the long game. It means you endure the setbacks without losing sight of the goal. It means you face every failure not as proof of weakness, but as evidence of progress. The person with victory mindset is not scared of losing a battle because they know the war will belong to them. They are not crushed by rejection because they know the door that slams in their face is just leading them to a door that will open later. They do not fear pain because they understand pain is simply the price of greatness. Victory mindset is not about perfection, it is about persistence. It is about showing up every day with the intention to move forward, even if it is 1 inch at a time, because an inch forward is still progress toward victory. What makes victory mindset powerful is that it cannot be taken from you. People can doubt you, betray you, laugh at you, try to stop you, but they cannot control what you believe in your mind. And once your mind is locked on victory, nothing else matters. Even when your body is tired, even when circumstances are against you, even when logic says you should stop, the mind screams, "Keep going because I will not lose." That's the mindset that carries you through storms. That's the mindset that allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary things. That's the mindset that separates those who finish from those who fade. Victory mindset does not wait for conditions to be perfect. It does not sit around waiting for permission. It moves, it acts, it creates opportunity where none exists. It takes failure as fuel, rejection as motivation, and pain as a stepping stone. It never bends to fear. It never negotiates with weakness. It never apologizes for wanting to win. It stands tall, it pushes forward, and it declares, "I will not be denied." That is victory mindset. And once you adopt it, once you live by it, once you let it control every thought and action, you become unstoppable, because you will either win now or you will win later, but either way, you will win. Discipline edge is the weapon that cuts through every excuse, every weakness, every obstacle, standing between you and the life you want. Talent will give you a start, motivation will spark the fire, but only discipline keeps you in the fight long enough to win. Discipline edge is the unfair advantage that most people never develop, and that is why they stay average, why they start strong but fade when it gets difficult. Discipline doesn't care about your feelings, it doesn't care about your mood, it doesn't care about whether you're tired, angry, or unmotivated. Discipline says, do it anyway. And when you carry that edge into your life, you dominate the game, because the world is full of people who let feelings control them. They work only when they feel like it. They show up only when they're motivated. They quit when it hurts. That's why the disciplined man or woman is unstoppable. They keep moving when everyone else has already sat down. The truth is, discipline is freedom disguised as sacrifice. People think discipline is restriction, but in reality, it is the path to absolute power. The disciplined person can trust themselves. They know they'll follow through on their word. They know they'll push through the pain. They know they won't betray their own standards. That's a kind of power no one can take from you. Discipline edge is the ability to command yourself like a soldier, to push yourself like a warrior, to drag yourself forward when weakness is pulling you back. With that edge, you don't just participate. You lead, you dominate, you set the standard that others cannot match. Discipline edge is not glamorous. It doesn't get applause. It doesn't always get noticed. It happens in the silence, in the grind, in the early mornings when nobody is watching, in the late nights when nobody cares. It is forged in repetition, in consistency, in doing the boring, painful, difficult things long after others have given up. That's why discipline beats motivation every single time, because motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire that never dies. When you live with discipline edge, you don't need external validation. You don't need someone pushing you. You don't need someone reminding you. You are self-driven, self-made, self-controlled, and that level of control is terrifying to those who lack it, because it exposes their weakness. They will call you obsessed. They will call you extreme. They will call you crazy. Let them. They're only saying that because they can't do what you do, they don't have your edge. Discipline edge is the ultimate separator. In a world of excuses, it is commitment. In a world of procrastination, it is execution. In a world of comfort, it is sacrifice. And the one who sharpens that edge daily, the one who carries it into every battle of life, becomes unstoppable. Because at the end of the day, success does not belong to the most talented, the most gifted, or the most lucky. Success belongs to the most disciplined. And if you carry that edge, nothing, not failure, not pain, not doubt, can cut deeper than your will. To keep going, no retreat is the mindset of a warrior who has burned the bridges behind him, who has cut off every escape, who has decided there is no going back, no surrender, no quitting, only forward until victory or death. Most people lose because they leave themselves an exit, they keep a backup plan, they whisper to themselves that if it gets too hard, they can always quit. That weakness destroys them before the real fight even begins. No retreat means you close every door except the one that leads to success. It means you silence every thought that tells you to quit. It means you stand in front of the storm with no shield, no backup, and no way out, and you look life in the face and declare, I will not retreat. I will not run. I will finish. When you live with no retreat, you become dangerous because you stop fearing failure. Failure is only final if you retreat, but if you refuse to step back, failure is just another round, another lesson, another step toward victory. The man who never retreats cannot be beaten, because the only way to beat him is to make him quit, and quitting does not exist in his blood. No retreat means when the pain hits, you go deeper. When the pressure builds, you grow sharper. When the world doubts you, you get louder. And when every excuse rises, you crush it under your will. This mindset is rare because most people want safety. They want comfort. They want a plan that doesn't hurt, that doesn't scare them, that doesn't demand everything. But greatness has never belonged to the safe. It has always belonged to the ones who risked it all, who had no retreat, who said, either I conquer this mountain or I die on it, but I will not walk back down in shame. That's why no retreat is so powerful, because once you decide there is no way back, every ounce of your energy, every fiber of your soul, every second of your time goes into one thing, winning. And with that kind of obsession, that kind of focus, you become unstoppable. People will call you extreme. They'll say you're crazy. They'll say you need balance, that you need to slow down. But the truth is, balance is for the ordinary. No retreat is for those who want their names carved into stone, who want their legacy to live forever, who want to look back at their life with pride instead of regret. Because regret is born when you retreat, when you give up, when you choose the easy path. Pride is born when you fight through, when you refuse to quit, when you push forward no matter the cost. So burn the ships, close the exits, tear down the safety nets, declare to yourself and to the world, there is no retreat. There is no going back. There is only forward, only victory, only destiny. And when you carry that mindset, nothing, no enemy, no failure, no pain, no force on this earth can stop you. And now, as we come to the end of this message, I want you to look at your life with clear eyes. Look at how far you've come. Look at every scar, every setback, every night of doubt, and every morning you still rose again. That is proof that you are not weak. That is proof that you are not ordinary. You are built for something greater. The fact that you are still here means the fight is not over, and your story is not finished. You've carried yourself through storms that would have drowned others. You've climbed out of pits that would have buried weaker souls. And you did it with nothing but your will, your grit, and your refusal to quit. So don't you dare stop now. Don't you dare waste the sacrifices you've already made. You've already paid too much pain to give it all away. You've come too far, and now is the time to finish. When the road gets dark, remember this. Winners are not remembered for how easy their journey was. They are remembered because they refused to surrender. Champions are not crowned because they never fell. They are crowned because they stood up one more time than they were knocked down. So leave here with fire in your chest and steel in your mind. Decide right now that no obstacle will break you, no weakness will control you, and no excuse will define you. This is your moment. This is your time. You have come too far. Now don't stop. Finish what you started and take what belongs to you.